You should be ashamed of your father.
I'm definitely not. My father's an amazing man.
Yeah.
He cares about American citizens.
Your father
and all
peddles
of their rights.
lies. I'm not a white supremacist. Honestly, shame on him. For someone that runs an organization called Blexit, do you even know what Blexit is?
I do not.
It's literally, we employ 40 black Americans that work in Atlanta, Chicago, and Philadelphia, trying to improve the well-being of inner-city black America. What has your father ever done for inner-city black America other than call me a white supremacist?
That's a good point. You gotta be able to compare your resume to their resume if you're gonna say something like that.
Might I say, it's an honor to meet you. After like hearing about you for maybe like 5 years growing up and like hearing all the negativity about you, I'm like, it's an honor to be here to get to meet you because I've always been a believer in like listening to what other people have to say. And I just want to ask you a question. Do you like the new name for the body of water that was formerly called the Gulf of Mexico?
America, baby!
The Gulf of America.
All right. Do you also agree with the renaming of the mountain in Alaska that is known as either Mount McKinley or Denali? Do you agree of Donald Trump's renaming of, or I should say President Trump's renaming of that back to Mount McKinley?
I'm generally sympathetic. I can see where you're probably going with this line of questioning, and we'll see how astute you are.
No, I'm just curious to see what your opinion is.
No, that's fine. No, it's okay. There's a third question you could ask that would be pretty smart, but go ahead.
It's a name. A name's a name. I'm planning on becoming a teacher, so...
No, it's fine. Maybe you're...
So, this video is about a college student getting hit with a reality check. I'm gonna say this. I couldn't care about what names are. We name this, we name that. I personally don't care. Let me know if you guys care about it, but I hope this is a good video. Please make sure you like it, subscribe.
Not going there, that's fine.
Yeah. If it says Gulf of America, I'll play Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, just the Gulf, whatever it is. It's a name's a name. I'm sure you here in Oklahoma probably still call what is now today Hurricane Harbor. I'm sure some of y'all still call it Whitewater Bay. So a name's a name. I was just curious about that. Your opinion on that. It's a pleasure to meet you, Charlie, and I'm glad that I could come out to meet you.
Thank you. Let me just say one thing. A name is a name, but name should reflect meaning. And so if a name fails to reflect meaning, then that name should be either reconsidered or brought back to the root. Many of our ancestors, their last name would actually be either their profession or the tribe that they were part of. For example, yes, Abraham.
That's my last name. My last name translates to free person in Czech.
Oh, well, very good. So Abraham means father of nations. Moses, for example, means out of the water or redeemer. Jacob means by the heel because he was born literally by the heel or usurper. Isaac means laugh because Sarah laughed at the idea of having him. So names actually used to really mean something, and I love this idea of bringing naming back to meaning. It's not just semantics. Semantics literally means meaning in its original Greek. Thank you very much.
I appreciate
Thoughtful
it, Charlie.
Question.
Congrats,
Thank
Wyatt.
Hi, Charlie. Is it okay if I record this for myself? Okay.
Of course you can, yeah.
So, my name is Jacob Norwood. I'm a junior in high school, and I have a lot of friends who are born from illegal immigrants. And I was wondering if you agreed with the abolishment of the 14th Amendment, which allows birthright citizenship.
Yes, I do. I don't think it's going to hold up, but I do believe that the 14th Amendment was not intended for anchor babies, correct?
Bro, people are definitely taking advantage of that. And I hate the fact that we try to pretend like people don't take advantage of it as if we don't know human nature. You honestly think somebody wouldn't intentionally, illegally cross a border and force themselves to have a baby so that their child can be an American citizen? You honestly believe that? Even if you are a Democrat or Republican, forget that. Let's talk about human nature. If you want better for your child, I believe a parent would do that. In some cases, Americans, if the roles were reversed, a lot of people here would probably do that. So it's just human nature to do that. So when Donald Trump said, no, we're going to end that because you're taking advantage of the system, I don't think that's an unreasonable or delusional thing to do, just from an objective standpoint. What do you guys think, though?
Well, I thought it was intended because people who would be brought over here during slavery, and then their children would then have birthright citizenship, and that was kind of the point.
But slaves were granted citizenship, though.
They were granted citizenship after they were brought here forcibly, and then...
Yeah, but then the kids of citizens are kids, though.
What is...
Are citizens.
What is the difference in immigrants 100 years ago coming here and having children here to immigrants coming here illegally now.
Well, slaves are a completely different
Slaves
moral
were not
category than
immigrants.
someone who
They
breaks
were
into your
slaves.
country, right?
Okay, what about Chinese immigrants 100 years ago coming here illegally
I think
and
it should have
then?
been wrong then, and it's wrong now, for sure, both.
But then why would people
It's
agree
been
with
tried.
it?
I mean, we've tried to get rid of this for quite
Why
some time.
agree with it then, though? Like, what's changed?
What do you mean, why agree with it? What do you mean
What's
by that?
changed now?
What are you
Well, we're
talking
revisiting the actual text of the 14th Amendment. I mean, and nothing's necessarily changed except we think the interpretation has been wrong because it says all persons. It's not clear whether or not that means children of U.S. citizens or if it means a foreigner that just gets on a plane who's pregnant and their kid magically gets a U.S. birth certificate. We are one of the only countries in the industrialized world that has birthright citizenship, one of the few. And so, for example, there are tens of thousands of babies born every single year in America of women from China or from Vietnam that get pregnant in Vietnam and China. At about 7 months, they get on a plane, they land and have their baby in America, and that baby gets a U.S. citizenship. I think that's insane. I think it's crazy that you can get on a plane, be pregnant from another country and be a citizen from another country, come here, and then your kid all of a sudden becomes a U.S. citizen. It first of all cuts in line and it dilutes the meaning of U.S. citizenship.
I still don't agree with you, but I know there's not a way I can change your mind.
It's all good. Thank you.
I did actually. I have one more question my dad wanted me to ask you. He said, would you still be a white supremacist if you were in a more diverse work field?
So do you think I'm a white supremacist?
I have no idea if you're a white supremacist. My dad has watched a lot of you. He said if you weren't out here preaching hate and working on your 3-pointers, do you think you would probably be better at that?
Yeah, I'm not even going to justify. You should be ashamed of your father.
I'm
Whoa.
definitely not. My father's an amazing man.
Yeah,
He cares about American citizens.
Your father
and all
peddles
of their
lies.
rights.
I'm not a white supremacist. Honestly, shame on him. For someone that runs an organization called Blexit, do you even know what Blexit is?
I do not.
It's literally, we employ 40 black Americans that work in Atlanta, Chicago, and Philadelphia trying to improve the well-being of inner-city black America. What has your father ever done for inner-city black America other than call me a white supremacist?
That's a good point. That's a good point. You got to be able to compare your resume to their resume if you're going to say something like that. If you're going to call them a white supremacist, what have you done that's better for the black community or any minority community that he hasn't done?
And by the
Probably
way,
done plenty.
secondly,
Black
it's just
people
so
for-
ridiculous.
you hiring
It's like it's
black
somehow
people for your companies or whatever you do
So
does
it-
not make you a
so
white supremacist.
what is a white supremacist?
A
then?
white supremacist is somebody who takes advantage and believes that they are higher than everybody else.
Do I believe that?
I have no idea.
Okay, exactly. And so there's no evidence whatsoever, and yet people go around sloppily saying, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. It is so destructive to our dialogue. It's destructive to us coming together as a country, and there's nothing to support it whatsoever. So thank you for your time, and shame on your
right.
father for peddling that crap.
Okay. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to our city today. It means a lot from, I know, a lot of my peers, but also me as well. I kind of don't have a question for you, more of words of advice. As someone who's fixing to graduate college, I've been studying political journalism. It's been, ever since I was a little girl, that's been my main goal, is to become a political journalism. I just scored an internship, actually, to start off with, shadowing political journalists and everything, and I was super excited for it. I thought it was going to be my start to my journey of success. When I have come to find out, majority of my peers and mentors or people I even looked up to in the office that I work at in the news station, they have told me since I am a Christian young woman that I probably won't succeed. And as someone who I've spent my whole life researching, dedicating my life to studying this, it's been very hard for me to continue to want to go into this field when I keep getting put down by the people that I look up to. So I kind of just wanted to ask you, like, I know you see so much and you read so much about yourself. Like, what keeps you to keep going and gave you that motivation to keep speaking your truth with your morals?
Yeah, it's a great question. First of all, you will succeed in journalism if you just outwork the other people. Secondly, there's a lot of these journalists, they're not going to have jobs in 5 to 10 years. I mean, media is changing in real time. My
That's
advice
facts.
to you is, first and foremost,
That's facts. I'm probably a bigger journalist than a lot of people online now, and I'm an engineer. But that's true. That's true. Don't listen to them. People are going to hate on you. They're going to tell you their crappy advice. they don't even like their life, and they're telling you advice on how to live yours.
Ton of communication directors' jobs for senators and congressmen. There's local news stations and more conservative ownership. You'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You have to silence and mute the noise and know what you are good at and follow your skill regardless what people are saying, and then say yes to every single opportunity. If you outwork everybody as an intern, that will be noticed. That will then be rewarded, regardless of your political affiliation. And honestly, all that opposition should only make you want to fight harder, will make you stronger, and will make you a better person in your career in the future. So God bless you.
Thank you so much, Charlie. It
Appreciate
means a
it.
lot.
Thank you.
I am a student at the University of Central Oklahoma. I have a liberal family, and it's not always easy, but I was going to ask you about immigration. So I know that we don't have an obligation to help Mexico, but is there incentives to help Mexico to make America better? And if so, what policies that we can support that would help that?
Yeah, that's a good question. The first way that we could help Mexico is probably the most controversial, which is to eliminate the drug cartels. And that is very controversial because that would take military action. And President Trump has played around with this idea. I have no idea what he's going to do. Mexico is basically controlled by 9 families. And most importantly, the Sinaloa drug cartel, which you guys might think that that's a foreign, distant problem. Almost everybody in this audience has probably lost a friend to fentanyl or somebody that deals with hard drug use. Almost all of that is produced by the Sinaloa drug cartel and is trafficked right up into communities in Oklahoma all across the state. So the best way we could help Mexico is not through giving them money or just cash. We've given them hundreds of billions of dollars over the last 30 years. The best thing I think we could do is targeted military strikes against the Sinaloa drug cartel and liberate them from their current captivity. Secondly, though, they're actively hurting our country. And that's the first question we got from the guy is, what do you mean you're being invaded? We are in an active, hostile, combatant conflict with the Sinaloa drug cartel. What do you call it when 100,000 of your own people die of drug overdosing, of foreign-made drugs that are being purposefully pumped into your communities? That's a poisoning of the country. And yes, everyone has agency and they make decisions, but they make it, first and foremost, a lot of people overdose now on drugs thinking they're taking a much lower level recreational drug that is laced with fentanyl. Now, you shouldn't do any drugs, guys, obviously, but unfortunately, we are seeing the intentional destruction, especially of working age young men in this country. The drug epidemic disproportionately is taking out young men in this country. And so that's what I think we should do to try to help Mexico.
Charlie Kirk actually gives pretty reasonable advice. He's obviously right leaning though, but a lot of what he says makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna be honest. Nonetheless, my name is LFR Jojo. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.